What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? It's your boy Bowie back at it again. And, I want to, give some unsolicited thoughts about the meta of Mortal Kombat 1. So, in case you don't know, at this present moment, Mortal Kombat 1's very first major offline tournament, East Coast Throwdown, is going down. By now, it could be over already. I don't know. But, I've watched quite a bit of the tournament. I've watched a lot of the pools. I watched the top 24. I'm only not watching it now because I want to make some content, and play. But one of the things that stuck out to me while watching this tournament is we have simultaneously a lot of character variety and no character variety. And you might be thinking, how the hell can that be possible? Well, I'll tell you how it's possible. In terms of primary characters, I've seen all but like 3. I've heard of all but 3 characters being a part of this tournament. And those 3 are Katana. Actually, that's not even true because I'm positive Katana Prime used Katana. I did not see Katana. I did not see Sub-Zero. I did not see Scorpion. Now, we didn't see every match in the tournament. A lot of them were done off stream. So it's very possible that both of those characters showed up in the off-stream matches. But other than that, I've seen everybody. Natara made it to like the top something. At least the top 16. Might even be in the top 8. So that's Deoxys running Natara. And that's the character that's supposed to be the second worst character in the game behind Sub-Zero, or ahead of Sub-Zero, I should say. Yet people are being able to floss folks in tournaments with her. And these are the best players in the world losing to Natara, by the way. So we have that phenomenon. And then, like I said, everyone else has been demonstrated pretty much. Because there's 24 characters, and I've seen the vast majority of them all, minus the ones I've mentioned. Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Katana. There may have been a Reptile. I didn't personally see Reptile, but I'm positive somebody used him, because Reptile's pretty alright. So, in terms of regular characters, we got a bunch of variety, and that bodes well for the health of the game. On the flip side, we have only primarily seen 2 motherfucking cameos at this tournament. Cyrax and Kung Lao. Every now and again, somebody will use Serena, or Sector, or Sub-Zero. And then you might see the occasional niche pick character using Goro. Right? But those are the exceptions rather than the rule. Everyone is running Cyrax or Lao as their cameo. Everybody. Virtually everybody. Worse yet, though we see a lot of good character variety, we also see a lot of Raiden in this tournament. We see a lot of Rain in this tournament. Who else? Didn't see a lot of Ashra. But we see some similar characters. So already we've had Raiden Cyrax mirror matches. You know what I'm saying? Johnny Cyrax, Havoc Cyrax, Rain Cyrax. Insert X character here, put Cyrax as the cameo is what we've been seeing. And if not Cyrax, it's Lao. So we've seen a bunch of Lao mirrors too. And so this, of course, means that NRS must address this. But this is a unique problem that they have now, because they've never had a Cameo game before. And in this game, the cameos and the characters go together hand in hand, so by addressing one, you address the other. Well, you don't really hurt the cameos by addressing the characters, but, you know, sometimes addressing a character really means addressing the cameo. For instance, let's say NRS decides to gut Cyrax into the ground, right? Or if, let's not even say Cyrax. Let's say they decide to gut Goro into the ground. Let's say Goro's, you know, up punch move becomes a summon rather than an ambush. That really hurts characters like Tanya, because Tanya is one of the primary characters that utilizes Goro as a cameo. So by nerfing Goro, it's an indirect nerf to Tanya, even if you don't change any of Tanya's properties. You see what I'm saying? So NRS has got to be surgical with these adjustments that they're going to invariably make to these characters. And when I say surgical, I mean that. They have to be very precise. They cannot make this a hatchet job the way that they did to Sub-Zero. Because what happened to Sub-Zero in this game should not have happened to him or anyone else in this game. It was wrong. Because what they did was they gave him a bevy of nerfs that were disproportionate. You know, they made his mid 25% slower. They decreased the damage of certain moves like slide and certain strings. They increased the damage scaling on several of his ice moves. And then they turned around and nerfed the hell out of the ice clone. Nerfed its duration, nerfed the recovery, and nerfed the cooldown. You know what I'm saying? By increasing it. All of those nerfs put together makes for a significantly worse version of the character, and making him the very worst character in the game. And he didn't deserve that. No character deserves that. And I'm not just saying this because he's my main, because the fact is NRS has done this a lot over their history. In the last game alone, I'll talk about a character I never played, Shiva. What happened to Shiva in Mortal Kombat 11 is a goddamn shame. Now, I get it. Her stomp was ridiculous, and it absolutely needed to be adjusted. But that was all that they needed to do, was adjust the stomp, adjust the hitbox, add some cooldown, you know, some more recovery frames, all that kind of shit. You adjust the move, still make sure it's still good, but stop it from being stupid. What did they do? They gutted the goddamn move. Now you can't hit the goddamn thing. You can't hit it no matter how hard you try. If the opponent does a half step in any direction, they're gonna avoid it. And when they avoid it, she's on the ground for so long that they're gonna get their highest damage punish on her for doing it. In addition to that, they gave her 950 health, which she didn't need that. And they nerfed another move that made her zoning and rush down strong. And this is a game in which upgraded Jackie existed. A game in which Fujin existed. A game in which Geras and Liu Kang and Sub-Zero existed as top tier characters. They gonna take Shiva and gut her into the ground. That ain't make no motherfucking sense. And I promise you, you will not see any footage of me using Shiva. I have over 1,000 videos on my YouTube. Find one where I'm using Shiva. It don't exist because I don't play her. You know what I'm saying? But they can't take that approach here in this game. I mean, they shouldn't be taking that approach, period. But especially in this game where character power levels are really, really high, and you have characters like Raiden that exist, characters like Cage and Kenshi that exist. You know what I'm saying? Raiden can get 45% off of an anti-air. Raiden can chip you out to death. He can run away. He can rush you down. He can go underneath your shit with a combo starting poke string. You know what I'm saying? He can do it all. And he can do half-life combos. And on record, I've said, hey, don't nerf that stuff. Buff my stuff. And I still hold to that. But now I'm starting to think even he can use some tweaks. Tweaks. Not nerfs. Not normalizations. Tweaks. Some slight damage scaling is appropriate. Some much increased recovery frames on the Superman, particularly when you do it in the air and you use it to escape. We need that, because that boy, as soon as he touches the ground, he can recover instantly, and that shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? Like, he should be at like negative 35 when he does a whiffed Superman. Also, when you block a Superman from range, it can be safe because it pushes back so far that you can't punish him for doing it, and the move is normally death on block. So we need some adjustments to that. Also, his Storm Cell move that chips out so hard, it needs to be more negative, much more negative on block. That way, if you block it and the Raiden ain't got no cameo, that's his whole ass. It shouldn't be a miracle for you to be able to punish it. It should be an easy punish for everyone in the game. That's the extent of how I would nerf Raiden. Notice, I'm not trying to gut him. I'm not trying to put him in the ground. I want him to be an easy to play character that gets a lot of reward and shit like that. And I still want him to have high ass damage. I don't have no problem with that. I just don't want him to be stupid. I want it to where if the Raiden does make a mistake, he pays for it. You know what I'm saying? Because he damn sure will make you pay. You know, I don't want any strings to be adjusted. I don't want him to not be able to combo off of certain things no more. No. I don't want any of his functionality adjusted at all. Even with a character like Kenshi, really, everything Kenshi-wise is just related to Sento. The duration doesn't need to be as long, and there needs to be significantly more cooldown if you interrupt it or you hit him. That's all I would do. I would not change any scaling on damage. I wouldn't change any overheads or lows or make things more unsafe. None of that shit. No. I want the Sento to be strong because I want it to be something that you want to do as a Kenshi player and something that you get rewarded for if you play him. But once again, if he fucks up and he makes a mistake, he pays. That's all. And look, I don't play no goddamn Kenshi. And I will be playing Raiden later, but I'm not going to play him right now because he's probably going to get adjusted. Ooh. Okay, Scorpion. Goddamn. Shit. But yeah. So, yeah. That's what I would do with Kenshi. I wouldn't do shit to Cage. Because I think Johnny Cage is overrated. He's probably one of the most overrated characters in the game right now. We got people calling him top 3, top 5. He's strong. He's a top character, but with people being able to poke out of his plus frames and him not being able to keep you up close without a Cameo and stuff like that. And even with Cameo, at some point you're gonna get away from Cage. And when you get away, he has to go in and get you. And without the Cameo, he has no way to make you stay near him. And you might be saying, oh, but he has plus frames. Yes, he's +3 at best. And he does have that 9-frame mid. That's true. But the moment he decides to do his mid, he done gave up his turn.
There's nothing I can't do.
Not to mention, I'm watching East Coast Throwdown. I've watched all the Cage matches. One Cage made it to top 16, if I'm not mistaken. And all the other Cages have lost. They've lost to Kung Lao. They've lost to Geras. They've lost to Raiden. They've lost all over the place. You know, not to mention, people don't really realize this yet, but there are quite a few characters that stymie the shit out of Johnny Cage when he fights them. Like, he has to be on point to beat them. That's not the mark of a character that's top 3. That's the mark of a character that's top, but he ain't no S++ character like that. Like, I don't think so. And this is not the first time he's been overrated. Like, it happened in MK11 as well. Like, people thought he was number 1 in the game, number 2, number 3. I'm like, bruh, no. No. Because female hitboxes were still an issue for him. You know what I'm saying? And what happened was, if you show him a bunch of respect up close, then yeah, he is going to seem insurmountable. He is going to seem like a top tier character because, you know, you respected him too much. You letting him get away with murder on you. You're not even trying to challenge him at all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's going to really look like he'll kill you. But when you actually challenge him, or when you don't let him get near you to begin with, and you challenge his plus frames every now and again, you realize that the moment you stop respecting Cage, then he's in trouble. Now he got to come in and get you again and hope that you don't challenge him again. So, yes, he's good, but certainly overrated, for sure. But speaking of ratings, one character that I think people were definitely underrating is Geras. Geras strong, man. Not because his normals are great, because they don't seem to be all that good. But when you pair him with a cameo like Kung Lao, or you pair him with other cameos and stuff like that, that boy does so much motherfucking damage. He tears you up. In addition to that, he has so many tools. Like, he can go back in time and recover health and recover positioning in the middle of your damn combo. A character like that can't be mid-tier. I don't give a damn how bad his frame data is. Well, I ain't gonna say all that. I mean, frame data matters a lot, but still. Like, I just think that people didn't know what the character could do at the high level, and now they're learning. So I do see Geras rising up on people's tier lists. Sort of the same way that people thought that Li Mei was one of the worst characters in the game, and then they realize, oh, wait a minute. She gets high damage. She has plus frames. She can punish pokes with full combos. There's no way this character's bad. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, look at that shit. That was light work right there. 44. Easy. Didn't even spend no bar to do that. Characters that get 44 meterless are not bad characters. Okay? So, nah. She's straight, bro. And to think, people were going to buff this character. Also, another character that people were criminally undervaluing is Smoke. Smoke's good, man. He ain't the best. He's hard to use somewhat because of the cancels. And if you mess up a cancel, you could really die. You know what I'm saying? But thing is, if Smoke gets paired with Kung Lao and plays patiently sometimes and then goes ham other times and stuff like that, and just plays really solid, he can win at a high level for sure. And people are demonstrating that and have demonstrated that at ECT. And that's also true with Natara. Now, Natara is definitely still bad. I ain't gonna get that twisted. But there's a reason why NRS had to pre-nerf her by making her health low and stuff like that. That girl's movement is bananas. Like, she moves in the air crazier than MKX Tanya ever did. And that's insane to think about. Like, she's bananas, bruh. The only thing that stops her is she's very unsafe. She's got bad frame data. She doesn't appear to have a mid. Like, she doesn't have a mid combo starter. You know. And her health is severely compromised. So they gave her pre-built weaknesses to stop her from being overwhelming. And so that's what we're seeing. But that doesn't mean that she has to be like worse than damn Scorpion. Because personally, if I had to rank Scorpion versus Natara, I'd put Natara above Scorpion. Because Scorpion has a mid, but that mid is very unsafe for him to use on block. But you can't hit confirm it, so you have to do it. And if you do it and the opponent blocks and knows that the second hit is a high and ducks it, that's your ass. You know what I'm saying? But anyway. So all in all, it's good to see information that disproves people's ideas about characters. But also, people were spot on about Cyrax and Kung Lao being like ridiculous. And I think them two need to be adjusted real bad. Now, once again, you gotta judge them surgically. You gotta adjust them carefully. We do not need Cyrax gutted and Kung Lao gutted. They need slight taps. But in addition to tapping them slightly in the downward direction, we need to slightly tap other cameos like a Sonya, like Sector, like Motaro, Kano, and the like. We need to tap them upward in a positive direction. Don't make them stupid, okay? Because one of the things that makes Kung Lao so damn dumb is the fact that low hat is so good. It's like the only move that you need from him. You don't need to do spin. You don't need to do telly. All you need is low hat. Why? Because it's a fast charge. So in case you don't know, from what it appears to me, cameos recharge at 3 different possible rates. They charge at the fast charge rate, which characters like Serena with her forward cameo, Lao Hat, and Sonya Ring are fast charge cameos. You use them, the meter replenishes really quickly because they're meant to be used repeatedly, right? There's the normal charge, which is what most cameos most cameos are categorized under normal charge. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, I messed that combo up so bad. And then you have the slow charge, which is like if you deplete your cameo meter and they get hit, there's like a delay before it starts charging, and then it recharges from 0. You know what I'm saying? And so what they need to do in the case of someone like Kung Lao is when Kung Lao does his regular low hat, it can keep the fast charge property. However, if he holds that hat even for a microsecond, Now it recharges at the normal rate, meaning you can't spam that hoe. You know what I'm saying? And you should only be able to hold it again once it's back full. You can still throw it quickly. Oh, that was the glitch that happened, bruh. Yo, peep this glitch, bruh. Peep this goddamn glitch. I put this on my YouTube, but look at this shit. Wow. I hit him with my string. I did string into Serena, but because Scorpion, you see how Scorpion's already here? This is where Serena's supposed to be. So when I call Serena, she appears here, then yeets over there and messes up my combo. Crazy. Anyway, me and Wallace was tripping because we was on the phone during this set and we was wilding out. But anyway, so yeah, Kung Lao hat needs to be a normal charge when held. That's the only adjustment I would make to him. I would not change the fast charge property of regular low hat. I think it's used fine as a zoning tool and a pressure tool. I just want it to where if you hold that bitch down and try to use it for setup or pressure from long range, you got to give something up. You know what I'm saying? And then with Cyrax, again, I am not in the business of gutting cameos or characters. I like the utility that Cyrax provides. I even think that he could use some consistency buffs on things like the choppers. Because the problem with Cyrax is when he does the chopper move on an airborne opponent, you never know where the hell the opponent's gonna land. And so you gotta guess what's gonna happen, and I don't think that should be. They should always land on one side or another based on where the opponent is in the helicopter. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I would do to buff Cyrax. Also, I would increase the speed of his net because it's damn slow. Like, there's no reason for that net to be that goddamn slow. I like for people to be able to use it in combos and shit. But even that might be too much of a buff. But in turn, them spins, they gonna need to have slow charge on them. They can't be normal. Because as normal attacks, they are too goddamn good. And they're used too frequently. You know what I'm saying? So I would just change their recharge rate from normal to slow. They still cost half a cameo bar, but they come back slow as a bitch. And if you do that, that should be enough. And if you do those other buffs with Cyrax, then I would also add on the additional nerf of now it's, instead of Cyrax being neutral on health, it should be minus 50 on health. Maybe even minus 100. Considering who he's often used alongside, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I would do with Cyrax. Give him a series of buffs and nerfs. But the nerfs are slight. There's no nerfs to his functionality, no nerfs to his combo damage or utility. Just the frequency of how often those things come out. That's the only kind of nerfs I would do. And then you would get some health nerfs too. Now, I can't do an exhaustive list of all the buffs I would do for every cameo because I don't play every cameo. I really only use Sonya, Lao, Serena, and now Scorpion, and sometimes Sub-Zero too. Sub-Zero I think is perfect. Sub-Zero's good. Scorpion's good too. He does high damage. He doesn't really help with neutral that much other than to make people get away, and that's fine. Same thing with Sub. Sub doesn't need any adjustments whatsoever. The only thing I would do with a character like Serena, I wouldn't do any nerfs with her. The only thing I would do is speed up her down cameo. Because sometimes people like poke out of it when you do it in a string, and that shouldn't be. It should just come out, rah, pop a bitch. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing I would do with her. I wouldn't touch her otherwise. Sonya, you gotta be careful with Sonya because you don't want to turn her stupid. One way to make her stupid would be to make her projectile a damn ambush like Kano. Then she becomes dumb. We don't want that. The only thing I would do with Sonya is make it to where when she fires her projectile, she actually appears behind you instead of in front. Because considering how slow her projectile is, a lot of times what'll happen is I'll go to shoot it and somebody will just hit her out of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of trash. I want her to appear behind you and shoot it. That way, if someone does throw something out at you, your character is going to take the hit, and then Sonya's cameo still shoots the projectile at you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would want for her. Someone also said more hit stun on her air combo move. I'm with that. I'll take that buff. Don't know what kind of effect it would have, but shit, I like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll take that buff for real. But yeah, like those are the only adjustments I would do. But in general, even if NRS decides not to listen to me and they nerf and buff the characters the way that they will, it is my dear hope that they tweak characters. They do not need to do the Sub-Zero hatchet job, the MK11 Sonya, excuse me, MK11 Sonya hatchet job. They don't need none of that. They don't need to do the MKX alien hatchet job, or, you know, the MK9 Sub-Zero / Jade / Kano hatchet job, or nothing like that. They don't need to gut no characters. Nobody should be gutted. Nobody. Characters should be tweaked, and that is it. I just wanted to flex right there, you know what I'm saying? Because I heard that Katana didn't get no damage. I heard someone say that Katana hits, she doesn't hit hard, so, you know, I had to style on niggas real quick. Not Wallace, but I'm just saying, like, the people, because there's a narrative out there against Katana that she's kind of weak. And I'm like, weak where? Her zoning's really good. Projectile's really strong. It's fast and does a lot of damage. Sweet goes mad far. She has a really good mid that launches for high damage. She gets high damage. Like, what's supposed to be bad about her? She has a 7-frame jab, 7-frame pokes. What's supposed to be bad about her? She's really solid. She's not dirty. I mean, she herself is not really dirty. Now with Jax, I've seen her do some dirtiness, but the character is really solid and honest. And I think because of that, people think that she's kind of weak. It's like, no. She's sort of a defensive juggernaut in a way. Like, if you play her defensively and go ham every now and again when you need to, she's good as shit. Look at that. Look at that. Staggering shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's ill, son. Like, come on, babe, pop. But anyway, so yeah, in general, NRS needs to tweak characters with a capital T. Tweak characters. Do not gut them. Do not crush them. Tweak them, because characters are in a good space for the most part. Even the bad ones are in a fairly good space. Even characters like Sub-Zero. Only thing I would do, I wouldn't even touch the clone. Don't do shit to clone. Revert his scaling speed up the mid back to 12 frames. If they do those two things, Sub-Zero doesn't need any adjustments for the rest of the game. That's what I would do. He turns into a solid ass character that's not top tier. You know, he's a character that controls the screen very well. He'd be very solid if his damage was more in line with everybody else and his mid didn't, you know, his mid wasn't mid. You dig what I'm saying? With those two things, he'd be very strong without being overwhelming. I mean, people would still complain about him because people always complain, but still. Oh, he fucked up. He should have won that. Damn. But yeah, those are my unsolicited thoughts about MK1 in the meta. I hope you enjoy. I'll catch y'all later. One.